They lied about the Bible's God for over 2,000 years. A spiritual awakening, spiritual wisdom. The truth will set you free, but first, it will make you uncomfortable. In today's video, we're diving into a story that's been told and retold for over 2,000 years, a story that may not be as clear-cut as we've been taught. Have we been given the full picture of God, or is there a deeper truth that's been hidden from us? On Spiritual Wisdom, we're exploring the duality of God presented in the Bible and uncovering the powerful forces at play that shaped the version of faith most of us know today. As you watch, ask yourself, is our understanding of the divine limited by centuries-old narratives, or is there a higher truth waiting to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's start a conversation about spiritual freedom and the search for a deeper, more personal connection with the divine. Remember to like and subscribe for more content that challenges, enlightens, and empowers. The Council of Nicaea in the 4th century marked a major turning point in the history of Christian belief, fundamentally shaping how millions would understand God. This council, led by Emperor Constantine, wasn't solely a religious gathering, but a political maneuver aimed at unifying the Roman Empire under a single set of religious beliefs. The goal was clear. A cohesive doctrine would stabilize a diverse empire and bring people together under a single, controllable narrative. To achieve this, bishops and religious leaders debated the nature of God and the divinity of Jesus, eventually establishing the doctrine of the Trinity. This move, however, meant silencing other perspectives and declaring them heretical. Many early Christian texts, which offered varied views on spirituality and divine connection, were omitted or destroyed, leading to a narrowed understanding of God that excluded alternative viewpoints. The effects of these decisions are profound, as the Council's doctrine shaped what Christians would be taught for centuries to come. At its core, this standardized version of Christianity didn't just unify belief, it constructed a fixed understanding of spirituality that served political ends. By dismissing the diverse beliefs that existed in early Christianity, the Council limited people's access to a richer, multifaceted spirituality. It enforced a single narrative about God that kept questions and alternative interpretations at bay, creating a spiritual framework that felt more like a system of control than a personal connection to the divine. These decisions resonate through history, influencing the way many people still approach their faith today. It's empowering to question these long-held doctrines, especially when we know their roots were intertwined with political ambitions rather than purely spiritual motives. We have the freedom to explore various paths and ancient texts that offer a broader understanding of spirituality, allowing us to reconnect with the divine in ways that feel true to us. Spirituality, in its essence, is a deeply personal journey. It's about seeking answers, exploring different perspectives, and nurturing a relationship with God that transcends strict doctrines or dogmatic teachings. With access to information and a vast array of spiritual traditions, we have an unprecedented opportunity to explore and reshape our spiritual beliefs beyond the limitations set centuries ago. Reclaiming spirituality in this way allows for a more meaningful, individual connection with God, one that isn't confined by doctrines formed under political pressure. This approach gives us the chance to uncover a spirituality that speaks to our unique experiences, beliefs, and inner truths. Instead of simply accepting beliefs that have been passed down without question, we can approach faith with an open mind, seeking out wisdom from diverse sources and crafting a spiritual path that resonates deeply with our hearts and minds. Are you ready to rediscover a deeper, more personal spirituality beyond the doctrines shaped by politics? If so, comment below. I will seek the truth, to show your commitment to exploring this path of spiritual freedom and connection. Let's question, learn and reclaim a spirituality that truly resonates with us. For centuries, powerful institutions shaped our understanding of spirituality by controlling which teachings were included in sacred texts. creating a narrow, rigid view of connecting with the divine. Many ancient writings offered alternative perspectives that encouraged personal spiritual exploration and a deeper, more intimate relationship with the divine. However, these ideas were seen as a threat to the established authority. Religious leaders feared that if people realized they could access spiritual truths on their own, the institution's influence would weaken. As a result, they suppressed or removed these empowering teachings, often branding them as heretical. This suppression wasn't limited to removing books. It shaped entire societies and generations. With only one narrative allowed, people came to believe it was the sole truth. The possibility that individuals could connect directly with the divine without intermediaries was minimized, if not erased, entirely. Many of these lost texts spoke of compassion, unity, and self-awareness as pathways to the divine, suggesting that spirituality isn't about a distant, unreachable God, but about a divine essence within each person. Such teachings could have inspired people to look within themselves for enlightenment rather than relying solely on external doctrine. Despite this historical suppression, the desire for a more personal spiritual connection has persisted. People today continue seeking a spiritual awakening that goes beyond traditional doctrine. Many are rediscovering these ancient perspectives, turning to lost texts and alternative philosophies to build a more fulfilling understanding. This journey reveals that spiritual awakening is not about following rigid rules, but about self-discovery and inner peace. Reclaiming this wisdom challenges us to ask, how much of what we know about spirituality has been shaped by others' intentions? By opening ourselves to these lost teachings, we can experience a richer, more personal spiritual path based on compassion and self-awareness. Spiritual awakening is not something handed down by institutions, but is a journey within. Embrace curiosity, explore beyond inherited beliefs, and recognize that your relationship with the divine is uniquely yours. Spiritual growth is a lifelong journey, and true enlightenment comes from an openness to expand your awareness and find your own path. If you found this perspective enlightening, let us know by commenting "Awakened" below. Your support helps us explore more hidden spiritual teachings and uncover empowering paths to personal enlightenment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights on reclaiming your unique spiritual journey. The portrayal of God in the Bible has been shaped by powerful institutions over centuries, and this influence has deeply impacted our understanding of spirituality. In early Christianity, followers held diverse beliefs about God, from an all-encompassing loving presence to more complex, individual interpretations. However, church leaders aimed to establish their authority by enforcing a singular view, suppressing any perspectives that differed. This suppression wasn't a gentle nudge towards unity. It involved violent methods like the Inquisitions and Crusades, where anyone who challenged the established interpretation was labeled a heretic and faced severe punishment. Through these acts, the Church not only shaped belief, but tightly controlled how people connected with the divine. The imposed monolithic view led to fear and repression, making people wary of exploring their own understanding of God. If someone believed God could be found within or outside church walls, they risked persecution. Countless thinkers, teachers, and followers were silenced simply for seeing God differently. Imagine if everyone had been free to interpret and seek God in a way that resonated with them. How much more inclusive and diverse might our spiritual landscape be today? As Emerson famously said, "Every man is a divinity in disguise." This idea that each person holds a spark of the divine within could have transformed how we see one another and how we connect spiritually. The Church's hold on spiritual thought extended beyond matters of faith. Even new ideas in philosophy and science faced resistance if they contradicted religious teachings. Galileo, who suggested that Earth revolved around the sun, challenged the Church's interpretation of God's creation and faced intense pressure to recant. This conflict illustrates how exploration and spirituality were often in opposition, with the Church suppressing discoveries that threatened its narrative. Imagine how much humanity might have learned if curiosity and spirituality had been allowed to coexist freely. We may have missed out on wisdom that could have enriched our understanding of the divine. These influences are not just historical. Even today, echoes of this suppression affect how we speak about spirituality and God. Many people hesitate to explore personal beliefs for fear of judgment or rejection. Are we truly free to follow our spiritual paths, or are we still bound by the shadows of past doctrines? Embracing a personal, unrestricted path to spirituality could be transformative. What if, as Rumi suggested, the wound is the place where the light enters you? By reflecting on our own experiences and wounds, we might find our unique expressions of the divine without feeling bound by rigid beliefs. Stepping beyond imposed restrictions allows us to discover spirituality as a personal journey rather than a fixed doctrine. Imagine a world where each person's understanding of God is respected, where everyone is free to seek and grow in their own way. As Einstein once said, the most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. Perhaps spirituality is meant to be a mysterious, deeply personal journey that can't be contained by rules. Embracing this mystery may lead to a richer, deeper connection with the divine, one that transcends traditional boundaries and invites us to seek God in every moment of our lives. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you see God within you, around you, or in a different way entirely? Let's start a meaningful conversation. The portrayal of God that most people have known is deeply rooted in traditional images of Yahweh, a deity often seen as powerful, sometimes wrathful, and heavily involved in human affairs. But there's an alternative understanding rooted in ancient Gnostic teachings, which present a different view of the divine. The Gnostics believed in a higher, unknowable source of pure love and wisdom, a God far beyond the limitations of human understanding. They saw Yahweh as a lesser, controlling deity who created the physical world, but also demanded worship and obedience, binding humanity to a material existence filled with suffering. In contrast, the Gnostic God, as they understood it, doesn't seek control or adulation. This higher divine force exists beyond earthly power structures, encouraging humans to seek inner wisdom and a personal connection to a deeper spiritual truth. For the Gnostics, true spirituality was not about submission to rules, but about an internal journey to uncover wisdom, love, and divine truth. This perspective challenges us to rethink our own beliefs about spirituality, particularly if the conventional view of God feels limiting. Instead of living under a view that emphasizes fear, obedience, or rules, this alternative vision invites us to explore, question, and experience the divine as a boundless presence both within us and all around us. This concept holds powerful implications for modern life. In a world where control and authority are often imposed through social structures, work environments, and personal anxieties, the idea of a God beyond these constraints offers a kind of liberation. Embracing a spirituality that prioritizes inner growth and wisdom over strict obedience can transform our lives, encouraging us to seek a deeper, more meaningful connection to the divine. Shifting to this Gnostic view isn't about rejecting traditional beliefs, but enriching our spiritual lives by embracing questions that lead to a truer understanding of the divine. It means stepping away from a controlling vision of God and moving toward one that empowers us to find inner peace, freedom, and a sense of connection to a limitless source of wisdom and love. This journey of seeking the divine within brings a profound sense of freedom, guiding us not through fear, but through a realization that we are part of a boundless, compassionate, and wise essence. This approach to spirituality encourages us to explore our beliefs, and find a God not defined by control, but by love and an infinite depth that invites our own growth. True spirituality, as the Gnostics saw it, is a deeply personal and inward journey toward discovering the sacred truths that lie within each of us, connecting us to something greater, freer, and wiser. If this alternative view of the divine resonates with you, please share your thoughts by commenting "I resonate" below. Join the conversation and connect with others who seek a deeper, more liberated understanding of spirituality. Let's explore this journey together. The Bible presents a complex, sometimes contradictory image of God that has puzzled believers for thousands of years. On one side, God appears loving, merciful, and compassionate, guiding and caring for humanity with grace. On the other, there are moments where God seems vengeful, demanding obedience and punishing those who stray. These contrasting images have led many to question whether the traditional teachings about God reflect His true nature, or if they've been influenced by human motives, shaped by cultural, historical, and political shifts over the centuries. One major issue is how these different portrayals affect people's understanding of morality, justice, and love. How can we reconcile a God who encourages love and forgiveness with a God who commands harsh punishments? For generations, religious institutions have often highlighted particular aspects of God, perhaps to promote obedience or maintain control within communities. By emphasizing God's authority and wrath, these institutions may have promoted a version of God that served their needs more than it reflected the complexity of the divine being described in Scripture. This focus has, for many, created a sense of fear around the divine rather than fostering a loving, personal relationship with God. These inconsistencies invite us to go beyond traditional teachings and to seek an authentic, personal connection with the divine. A true spiritual awakening does not come from merely accepting inherited beliefs. It emerges from deep personal exploration and a willingness to engage with the paradoxes of faith. By letting go of rigid interpretations, we might see the Bible not as a one-dimensional rulebook, but as a dynamic text that mirrors humanity's evolving understanding of God. Perhaps the duality we observe isn't a mistake, but a mirror reflecting the complexities within each of us. Just as we are capable of both compassion and anger, maybe the Bible's portrayal of God embodies these qualities not to confuse us, but to show us the full spectrum of the divine. Engaging with these questions doesn't weaken faith. It enriches it, leading to a deeper, more nuanced spirituality. This exploration allows us to move from fearing God's judgment to seeking a closer, more genuine relationship. The Bible, in all its complexities, invites believers to question, explore, and connect with the divine in ways that honor both the light and shadow within us. Ultimately, the lesson here is clear. Faith isn't about blind obedience, but about fostering a relationship that encourages growth, understanding, and personal spiritual awakening. The Bible, rather than being a book of strict rules, is a guide for discovery, a call to seek deeper meaning, and a path toward a spiritual awakening that is both personal and profound. If you're ready to explore the true depths of faith and seek an authentic connection with the divine, join the conversation. Comment, "I'm ready to seek," below. Let's dive beyond the surface together. The rediscovered texts, like the Gospel of Thomas and the Book of Enoch, challenge traditional views by offering a richer, more profound perspective on spirituality. These writings suggest that spirituality is a personal journey of self-discovery, rather than a path defined strictly by external rules or religious institutions. The Gospel of Thomas emphasizes finding the divine within oneself, encouraging a direct connection with God that is independent of organized religious practices. This idea of an internal, self-guided spirituality contrasts with mainstream teachings, which often focus on salvation through obedience to church authorities. The Book of Enoch further expands our understanding of the spiritual realm, describing heavenly beings called the Watchers, who descend to earth and share knowledge with humans. This story presents a unique link between humanity and the divine, hinting at the existence of spiritual dimensions beyond the material world. These teachings suggest that divine wisdom is accessible to all who seek it, and that humanity's relationship with the spiritual realm is closer and more interactive than traditional beliefs often portray. The exclusion of these texts raises important questions. In the early days of Christianity, powerful councils decided which books would make up the Bible, shaping a version of spirituality that aligned with the institutional church's goals. By encouraging self-reliance and spiritual independence, texts like the Gospel of Thomas and the Book of Enoch could have posed a threat to the centralized authority of the church. A self-directed spirituality shifts power back to the individual, suggesting that each person can seek divine truth within themselves without needing an intermediary. Reimagining a world where these teachings were part of mainstream spirituality might mean a society where individuals believe in a direct, personal relationship with the divine. This vision could reshape our understanding of community, compassion, and personal responsibility, grounded in a spirituality that encourages self-reflection and exploration. The idea of a more inclusive and personal spirituality aligns with the wisdom of thinkers like Buddha, who taught, "Do not believe anything simply because you have heard it." These ancient texts invite us to question, to seek, and to redefine our understanding of God and the universe. Embracing these lost texts opens up a pathway to reclaiming a piece of spiritual heritage hidden for centuries. They invite us to view spirituality as a boundless journey of exploration and discovery, echoing Rumi's words, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." By reconnecting with these teachings, we aren't just learning about God, we're also rediscovering our own divine potential, realizing that the divine may be as close as our own consciousness. If this exploration of hidden spiritual wisdom has sparked a new perspective on connecting with the divine, comment, "I'm connecting with God," below. Your thoughts help us dive deeper into these profound spiritual journeys together. Re-examining Lucifer as a symbol of knowledge and freedom reveals a perspective that challenges traditional beliefs. In many ancient texts, particularly in Gnostic teachings, Lucifer isn't simply a figure of darkness, but instead embodies enlightenment, representing intellectual and spiritual liberation. This perspective sees Lucifer not as a force of evil, but as a challenger to an authoritative deity, pushing humanity toward curiosity and deeper understanding. By framing Lucifer as a symbol of the pursuit of truth, this viewpoint suggests he encourages us to seek knowledge beyond established boundaries, fostering an independent approach to spirituality. One essential idea here is the contrast between obedience and free thought. Traditional interpretations often demand unwavering faith and adherence, portraying questioning as disloyal or even dangerous. But through the lens of Gnostic spirituality, Lucifer represents the courage to challenge the status quo and look beyond what's prescribed. This idea encourages us to engage actively with spirituality, to explore and question without fear. In a world where many are often told what to believe, this viewpoint emphasizes personal spiritual growth as a journey of active discovery, not passive acceptance. Another significant aspect of this perspective is the relevance of Lucifer's story to modern life. Today, access to information is greater than ever, and people can seek knowledge freely, questioning societal and religious norms that once felt unbreakable. Lucifer's story becomes a metaphor for intellectual bravery in our time, a reminder to break free from restrictive ideologies and cultivate a spirituality that resonates personally. Rather than viewing spirituality as rigid or fixed, This approach invites each person to define their beliefs, allowing room for growth, change, and deeper understanding. This doesn't imply rejecting all previous beliefs. Instead, it's about finding a balance between respect for tradition and openness to new insights. Seeing Lucifer as a symbol of freedom doesn't equate to rejecting spirituality. Instead, it offers a path toward a richer, more fulfilling spiritual life. Spirituality in this sense becomes a dynamic, personal experience, a continual search for truth and wisdom. Embracing this view means engaging with spirituality as a living journey, one that evolves with our understanding and expands our sense of connection to the universe. By reframing Lucifer's story in this way, we reclaim the right to spiritual autonomy, finding meaning not in blind acceptance, but in the courage to seek, question, and grow. If these ancient teachings have deepened your understanding of God and spirituality, share your thoughts by commenting "Seeking God's Wisdom" below. Your reflections inspire us to continue exploring these powerful spiritual insights together. This perspective reimagines God not as a distant figure, accessible only through religious institutions, but as a universal presence residing within each of us. By seeing the divine as an internal force, we tap into a spiritual truth that challenges the traditional view. For thousands of years, people have been taught to seek God outside of themselves, relying on doctrines and institutions. This teaching suggests a separation between humanity and divinity, leading us to believe that divine connection requires intermediaries. However, a different understanding exists. Each person holds a divine spark, a piece of universal consciousness connecting us to all of existence. This concept invites us to recognize that God is woven into our being, accessible without rituals or institutions. This shift has profound implications. Realizing that divinity is internal transforms how we relate to spirituality. Instead of following prescribed beliefs, we become explorers of our inner divine nature, fostering personal empowerment and responsibility in our spiritual journey. With this internalized view, spirituality is no longer bound by walls or limited by dogma. It is a journey inward. Each of us carries within a source of wisdom, love, and peace that doesn't rely on external validation. This understanding allows us to experience spirituality through compassion, kindness, and unity, guiding us to live in harmony with others and ourselves. A spiritual awakening through this internal lens leads us to see God not as a distant, worshipped figure, but as a force we embody in everyday life. This realization is freeing and powerful. When we accept that divinity flows through our actions and thoughts, we cultivate a life of authenticity, fueled by love and understanding. We no longer seek external approval, but look within for guidance, realizing that the truth has always been within us. Embracing this truth is both empowering and humbling, as it brings with it the responsibility to nurture the divine spark within ourselves and honor it in others. In embracing this view, we find that true spirituality is a journey of self-discovery rather than adherence to doctrine. Recognizing God as an internal presence brings a sense of freedom, grounding us in the knowledge that we are part of a larger, interconnected whole. Through this journey, we gain not only a deeper connection to ourselves, but also a profound sense of unity with all that is divine. This path invites us to live with purpose, compassion, and reverence, seeing divinity as a shared essence that connects and inspires us all. As we conclude, let's reflect on the powerful journey we've explored together. The perspectives we discussed reveal how our understanding of God and spirituality has been shaped by centuries of influence, often hiding deeper truths and alternative teachings. By questioning these established narratives, we can rediscover a more personal, fulfilling spiritual connection, one that transcends imposed doctrines and encourages inner growth, self-discovery, and a profound sense of unity with the divine. This journey isn't just about learning history. It's about reclaiming a spirituality that resonates personally, free from limitations and open to our unique experiences and truths. I invite you to take these insights and apply them to your daily life. What does spirituality mean to you beyond what you've been taught? How might you reconnect with the divine in ways that feel authentic to your own heart and mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's spark a conversation about spiritual freedom and self-discovery. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our community here at Spiritual Wisdom, as we continue to explore topics that challenge, inspire, and empower each of us on our path to personal growth and happiness.